Retread. In order to ensure that the inside of the car tire is protected from punctures and damage, it must be provided with a tread. Its other function is to create an optimal contact patch. On the screen you can see the worker restoring the tread on an old tire. The fact is that the tire frame has almost unlimited service life. In the process of operation, only the pattern wears out. That's why today there are many cars with restored tires, especially trucks. It's noteworthy that the restored tread doesn't differ from the original one by its performance. Since the procedure helps to significantly reduce the cost of maintenance of the car, it's not surprising it's so popular. The old tread is removed from the tire, the unnecessary rubber is simply cut off. Then the frame is repaired, eliminating punctures and other defects. After that, its surface is ground until it acquires a rough texture. A layer of liquid rubber is applied on top of it. It ensures close contact of the frame with the tread. A layer of natural rubber is applied to the resulting surface as a primer. Finally, the worker applies a pre-cut tread tape to the tire. First, it's attached with brackets, and in the last stage, the tire is wrapped in an envelope together with the chamber and the rim, and then sent for vulcanization. This method of retreading is called cold welding. Chains. Raw materials for the production of chains are delivered to the plant in the form of purified, tight, thick metal wire. Chains of different sizes can be produced in one workshop. The process and stages of production are the same. But making really large chains is a longer process, and it's much more extensive. The first stage of production is performed by a special machine that cuts off pieces of wire of the required length. Then they are bent to form links and connected to each other. According to manufacturers, there is no room for accidents at such plants. Machine tools are extremely calibrated. Each piece of metal cut off from the wire has a strictly defined length, so the finished links are identical in size to each other. The next step is to weld the gap of the link. If it's omitted, high loads can lead to the disconnection of one link from the other. In order to guarantee the durability and reliability of the finished product, the third step is testing. The chain is placed in another machine which tightens it according to the permissible weight. If any of the links are unusable and break down, they are removed and replaced with new ones. After the test has been passed, the last step is the heat treatment in the furnace. Thanks to it, the metal becomes even stronger. Pasta. These dried dough pieces can have a variety of shapes and sizes, but in any case, at the factory it all starts with wheat grains, from which the flour is made. However, there are also factories that miss this stage by buying ready-made flour. In any case, it must be sifted and cleaned before production begins, with the help of special machines. In order to achieve a really high quality of the finished product, the employees of the factory check the humidity, color, percentage of nutrients in the flour every 60 seconds. If the quality of the flour meets the standards, water is added to it. Then the dough for the pasta is made. Special machines then compact it and press it. The finished moist mass is chopped up, after which the pasta acquires its familiar look. The type of machine processing the dough has determines what kind of pasta it will be. Before the pasta gets to the packing department and is ready for transportation to the store, it's dried and then cooled. The factory you see on the screen produces about 119 megatons of penne pasta every year. Spaghetti is produced at around 59 megatons per year. French macaron. Although this French pastry is often made by hand in bakeries, there are factories where production is partially automated. The first step you see on the screen is the preparation of the ingredients. Sugar is mixed with water and then heated to a temperature of 106 degrees Celsius and cooked. At the same time, liquid and dried egg whites are mixed. It's considered to be the main ingredient in the preparation of this dessert. The combination of liquid egg white and powder is chosen because it reduces the amount of moisture in the finished product. After the whites have been mixed for 10 minutes, a mixture of water and sugar is poured into them. A special machine mixes the resulting composition until its temperature drops to 40 degrees. Another mixture consisting of almond powder, dye and sugar is added to the mixture, which has acquired a thick, dense texture. The composition is almost completely ready. It's then poured into the machine, which shapes the future cookies. The discs are then sent to the oven, where they spend 20 minutes at 121 degrees Celsius. The only thing left to do is to join the biscuits together and fill the gaps. The filling is made of a mixture of chocolate and cream. Leather cases. Creating seemingly small and familiar to everyone phone cases is a much longer and more complicated process than it may seem at first glance. Most likely, that's why about 80% of the cases on the market are plastic, and only 20% are made of leather. A piece of leather is cut out of the skin with a special stamp. The surface is processed until it's 3 mm thick. Then another stamp is used to form a pattern on the surface. The edges are reworked to achieve the required thickness. Then the leather is soaked for 3 hours. After that, an aluminium mold is placed on it, imitating the size of the smartphone, having previously made a markup for it. The edges of the workpiece are bent, future outlines and curves of the cover are formed. To give it its final shape, the edges of the workpiece are sewn together. The shape is fixed with the help of clamps, in which the cover spends about 10 minutes. To dry the skin, the covers run through the oven 3 times, and then left under the fans to finally dry for 2 hours. Now, when the skin is fixed in the right position, the excess material is cut off, and the worker also makes holes for buttons, connectors, and the camera. Then it's necessary to polish all the edges, the surface, and put on a logo. Jewelry. The production of chains made of gold and silver alloys is a process that resembles the production of ordinary big chains, which we've already shown today. The main difference is, of course, in size. Automated machines perform jewelry work on cutting metal, creating pieces of links and welding. This method is called anchor chain, and the machine connects up to 600 links per minute. The specialist randomly checks their quality too. The operation of the machines is different and depends on the final shape of the chain. For example, there are machines that twist several gold pieces into a dense bundle. The resulting workpiece is covered with a special powder to prevent it from sticking together during the next stages of production, and then heated to 815 degrees Celsius. Next, the machine or a person attaches a lock to the end of the chain and is branded with a hallmark. The final stage, during which the metal acquires its usual shine, is the treatment in 4 tanks with chemical substances.